Deep within every human heart is a hunger, a profound yearning that echoes through the chambers of our souls. It's a hunger that nothing in this world, with all its fleeting pleasures and glittering promises, can truly satisfy. We chase after success, striving for recognition and the illusion of control. We pursue pleasure, seeking momentary escape from the deeper questions that stir within us. And we accumulate possessions, hoping that somehow material wealth will fill the void. But the emptiness lingers, a persistent reminder that something essential is missing. This longing is, at its core, a hunger for God, a deep-seated need for connection with the divine. It's a desire for the infinite, for a love that never fails, a love that transcends the limitations of our earthly existence. The Catholic Church responds to this ache not with mere ideas or philosophical concepts, but with an invitation, a warm and heartfelt welcome to something truly transformative. It's an invitation to a sacred banquet where God Himself feeds us, nourishing our souls with His very essence. This meal is the Holy Eucharist, also known as Holy Communion. It is the very center and heartbeat of Catholic life, the source and summit of our faith. For centuries, believers from every corner of the globe have gathered, generation after generation, to receive what Jesus promised on the night before He died, His own body and blood, truly present under the appearance of bread and wine. This is not just a symbol or tradition, a mere representation of something else. It is the most intimate way God remains with us, a profound and personal encounter with the living Christ. The Eucharist is the fulfillment of Christ's promise, His enduring presence in our lives, to be with us always until the end of time. It's an open invitation to every soul, regardless of background or circumstance, in every generation, from the youngest child to the wisest elder. It's an invitation to come to the table of the Lord, to partake in the sacred meal that nourishes and sustains us. Imagine being invited to a feast, a banquet beyond your wildest dreams, where the host is the creator of the universe, the King of Kings, and the food is the very life of God, the bread of life that gives us eternal sustenance. At every Mass, we step into a sacred space, a sanctuary set apart from the ordinary, where heaven and earth meet, where the veil between the visible and the invisible is lifted. The Eucharist is the door to this divine reality, the gateway to a deeper understanding of God's love, where our broken stories are woven into God's great story of salvation, where our imperfections are embraced by His perfect love. Our true identity is found here, not in our accomplishments or possessions, but as beloved children of God, invited to share in His life, His joy, and His eternal glory. This invitation is for everyone, without exception, no matter your past or burdens, your doubts or fears. The Lord simply asks us to come with open hearts, ready to surrender to His grace, ready to receive His grace, His healing, and His unconditional love. The Eucharist is the ultimate expression of God's welcoming love, His desire to be intimately united with us. It strengthens the weak, empowering us to face the challenges of life with courage and resilience. It heals the wounded, mending our broken hearts and restoring our spirits, and gives hope to the lost, guiding us out of the darkness and into the light of His presence. It is the starting point of a journey, a pilgrimage of faith that leads us closer to God, toward a joy and peace the world cannot give, a lasting fulfillment that transcends all earthly pleasures. Will you accept the invitation? Will you come to the feast and experience the transformative power of God's love? In our fast-paced world, where information is readily available and complexities are often simplified, we often reduce profound realities, things that hold deep meaning and significance, to mere symbols. We tend to skim the surface, losing sight of the depth and richness that lies beneath. Many, even within the Christian faith, see the Eucharist as just a symbol of community, a shared meal that fosters togetherness and belonging, or perhaps simply a reminder of Jesus' last meal with His disciples, a historical event commemorated through ritual. But for Catholics, steeped in centuries of tradition and unwavering belief, it is infinitely more than a symbolic gesture. It's a profound encounter. To call the Eucharist merely a symbol is to profoundly miss its true power, its transformative essence, and its central role in the Catholic faith. The Church, in its enduring wisdom, proclaims, the Eucharist is the source and summit of Christian life. It is the very heart of our faith. All grace, every blessing, every spiritual gift flows from it, emanating outwards to touch every aspect of our lives. And all worship, every prayer, every act of devotion ultimately leads to it, converging at the altar in a profound act of communion. Without the Eucharist, Catholicism would be reduced to just another philosophy, a set of ethical principles or abstract ideas. The real presence of Jesus, truly present in body, blood, soul, and divinity, makes the Church a living body animated by the Spirit, not merely a social club or a charitable organization. This is why we build beautiful cathedrals soaring towards the heavens, use precious vessels crafted with care and reverence, and kneel in humble adoration. Our actions, our gestures, our very posture reflect our unwavering faith. Jesus Christ is truly, substantially here among us. The Eucharist profoundly explains our priesthood, the sacred role of those who consecrate the host, our devotion to the saints, those who lived lives of exemplary faith, and our moral teachings, guiding us towards a life of holiness. It is not merely one belief among many within a complex system of doctrines. It is the central mystery, the source from which all other mysteries flow. To miss the Eucharist, to overlook its significance, is to miss the very heart of the Catholic faith, the pulsating core that gives life to everything we believe and do. It is the sacred feast, at the very center of everything, the axis around which our spiritual lives revolve. Will you come inside and discover the profound reality of the Eucharist? The belief in Jesus' true presence in the Eucharist is a cornerstone of Catholic faith. It's a concept that invites deep reflection and a profound sense of awe. This belief comes directly from his own words at the Last Supper, the sacred meal he shared with his apostles on the night before his crucifixion. As he broke the bread, he declared, "This is my body," and taking the cup of wine, he proclaimed, "This is my blood." He didn't say, "This represents," he meant it literally. He was giving himself truly and fully. The earliest Christians understood this, embracing the Eucharist as a source of strength and unity. They cherished the Eucharist as the Lord himself, present and accessible in a tangible way. To explain this profound reality, the Church uses the term transubstantiation. It's a term that attempts to capture the essence of this mystery, that the bread and wine truly become Christ's body and blood through the power of the Holy Spirit. Though their outward appearance remains unchanged, their very essence is transformed. St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the Church's greatest theologians, explained that while the accidents or appearances remain, the substance or underlying reality changes completely. Faith allows us to see beyond the surface, beyond mere appearances. It enables us to recognize Jesus hidden in the Eucharist, veiled yet truly present. It's like recognizing a friend not just by their physical features, but by their unique spirit and personality. In the same way, faith perceives the deeper reality of Christ's presence. St. Cyril of Jerusalem urged, "Approach therefore with faith unfeigned, and let faith make you firm." Jesus comes to us in this humble form of bread and wine out of love, a testament to his self-sacrificing nature. He does this not to overwhelm us with his divinity, but to invite us into a personal and intimate relationship with him. The Eucharist is indeed a profound mystery, one that we accept in trust and reverence. Here, in the silence of the tabernacle, the hidden King waits patiently for us, longing for our love and devotion. Will you open your heart and see with the eyes of faith? Will you draw near to him and receive the gift of his true presence? Attending a traditional Catholic Mass is to step into a world of sacred beauty. The scent of incense, the glow of candles, and the soaring chants all draw us into worship. Every detail, the vestments, the altar, the gestures, teaches the faith without words. The priest faces the altar, leading the people toward God, not toward themselves. Gregorian chant fills the air, lifting hearts to heaven. Silence at key moments invites us to listen for God's voice. The ringing of bells marks the miracle of the Eucharist. Every gesture is precise, cultivating humility and adoration. Kneeling to receive communion, we acknowledge the immense gift we are given. The host is received on the tongue, a sign that the Eucharist is a gift, not a possession. The entire liturgy is a dance of reverence, a glimpse of heaven's worship. In this beauty, we encounter the sacred. Will you enter in? The saints show us the power of the Eucharist. Saint Thérèse of Lisieux called communion a fusion of love, her daily source of strength. St. Peter Julian Aymard, the apostle of the Eucharist, founded communities for perpetual adoration, believing all problems could be solved before the tabernacle. St. Teresa of Calcutta began each day with Mass and adoration, drawing strength to serve the poorest of the poor. Young saints like Tarsicius, martyred protecting the Eucharist, and Carlo Acutis, who catalogued Eucharistic miracles, remind us that love for the Eucharist knows no age. For these saints, the Eucharist was not a duty but a delight, a living encounter with Christ. They didn't just believe a doctrine, they fell in love with a person. That love changed everything. Their lives invite us to do the same. Will you let the Eucharist transform you? Will you become a witness? The saints are waiting. The Eucharist is not a reward for the perfect, but medicine for the sick. Many feel unworthy, but Jesus came for sinners, not the righteous. The Eucharist is spiritual food that heals, strengthens, and transforms us. Like the Gospel stories, Jesus meets us where we are and begins the work of transformation. Each communion deepens our union with Christ and helps us become more like Him. Countless lives have been changed by returning to the Eucharist, addictions broken, grief healed, marriages restored. Jesus is not distant. He enters our mess and brings healing. The only requirement is a humble, contrite heart. For those conscious of grave sin, confession prepares us to receive the King. Confession is not shame but mercy, a cleansing before the feast. By confessing and receiving the Eucharist, we are renewed. The journey begins with a single step. Will you let Him heal you? If you've been away from the church, know this: you are missed. Your place at the table is waiting. The heart of Christ longs for your return. Don't let past hurts or doubts keep you from the one thing that can satisfy your soul. No sin is greater than God's mercy. Like the father in the prodigal son, God runs to welcome you home. The path back is simple: a single prayer, a visit to a quiet church. Start with the Eucharist, not by receiving, but by being in its presence. Sit in adoration, pour out your heart, and let Jesus speak to you in the silence. When you're ready, seek reconciliation. You'll find not judgment, but joy. Lay down your burdens and receive the bread of life. The church rejoices to welcome you home. The feast is prepared and your seat is waiting. Will you come home? Our world is noisy and anxious, leaving many restless and isolated. The world offers quick fixes, but true peace is not a technique. It's a person, Jesus Christ, waiting in the Eucharist. His peace is not the absence of conflict, but a deep stillness that comes from being centered on God. Eucharistic adoration is a school of peace. In silence before the Blessed Sacrament, we detach from the world's chaos and find clarity. Receiving communion, we welcome the Prince of Peace into our hearts. His presence anchors our souls. St. Paul promises that the peace of God will guard your hearts. The Eucharist quiets our fears and gives us strength for life's trials. Spend time before the tabernacle, attend Mass, and let this peace reorder your life. In a world spinning out of control, the Eucharist is our still point. It is our safe harbor. Will you seek this peace? The Christian life is about joy, a deep, abiding joy that comes from union with God. The secret of this joy is the Holy Eucharist. Jesus said, "Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me and I in them." In every Mass, we taste a foretaste of heaven. This joy is not an emotion, but a gift of the Holy Spirit. The Eucharist gives our lives purpose, hope, and meaning. If your faith feels cold or routine, return to the Blessed Sacrament. Sit before the Lord, receive Him with renewed faith, and ask Him to reignite your heart. The Eucharist can make all things new, turning routine into adventure and lukewarmness into zeal. Make the Eucharist the center of your life. Let Sunday Mass be your anchor. Find time for quiet prayer before the tabernacle. Here you will find peace, love, and a joy that is a taste of heaven. Don't miss this gift. Come to the feast.